for example, like these executives, like the music executives and all that, I would think like, why don't you just let these people drop the best music so y'all can just profit off of it the most? Like, don't that sound simple? But then once you look at the nuances of it, you start to realize like it's not that simple because you realize all the things that can come with it. Like, okay, if they let this artist keep dropping all this fire music, it's like that artist is then going to gain leverage to the point where they don't need that label anymore. And these labels don't want the artist to gain that type of power. I even seen some of this stuff with movies. Like you would think like, why did they stop making this certain movie? Why would they stop making this or doing this? And I start doing research about it, like and hearing interviews about it. Like it's not as simple as what people think. Like it'd be these executives, like do it, for example, like you know how there be a fire movie series, like from your childhood, and you question yourself, like why would they switch everything up? Why did they stop? Why wouldn't they just do the thing that worked? Because that's how you think about it, right?
Yeah.
You don't think about the nuances of it, but I start to like do research on it. It's like no, it ain't that simple. They started making those movies, and those executives got greedy. They seen that it worked, how much money it made, and they knew that that person wanted. They knew that those certain actors or whatever wanted more leverage now. So now they're like putting a stop to it. Like, nah, we can't let you get that much power. You want leverage, you want ownership of this movie. Like all of that stuff goes into it, and then you start to realize that shit. But realizing that is even deeper than just movies and music. It's with the world. Like that's how I'm looking at it now. Like the nuances of all this stuff. Like you think certain stuff could just be simple. Like damn, this could all be so simple, but then you realize the stuff behind the scenes. This is how I know it's foul play going on behind all of this stuff. Like it's something deeper. This is why the average person wouldn't even think of this stuff. They would just it just goes right over their head. These people just want control. No wonder they call them gatekeepers. Now I see why. There's probably so much hidden gems, bro. I be thinking about that too. This is why I said I be thinking about mental Easter eggs from the past, like just thinking back on like memories or certain things, or even trying to search up like old music from back then, or anything old, like old footage. And just thinking about it, like I know there's so many hidden gems out there that would probably never even be brought up to the public. There's probably so many gems, like so much hidden music from certain artists or movies that never made the scripts. I mean, movies that never got greenlit to get made, like certain scripts that were in the play. Like there's so much stuff behind the scenes, bro.
Yeah, mom. Help, mom. Yeah, as I look at from like back then and how artists were supposed to drop like certain like snippets of a song or like a movie or a tape, it got like backpedaled because their label was acting funny, so they couldn't drop anything. It's like they started to see it was around the 2014 era, 2013, where I started seeing like a change in music, like how artists started being more independent because these labels, and they saw that, so they kind of like backpedal it going on to 2020. And it's like now you're seeing artists drop some of the songs they dropped from years ago that they haven't dropped because they couldn't, because their label, like, they know it. Music is like frequency, like it's a part of us. It's the universe. They say uni, Uni means one, like uni means one, like unify, and verse is like a verse to a song, like it connects to you, and like they know that, so it's like now they can't like drop it. Like this is complications within the industry, you know.
It's always something deeper behind the scenes. I had to start realizing this stuff. Because it would always just befuddle me why certain things didn't work out, or like, why did this not happen, or this certain person was supposed to drop this, or this movie was supposed to come out. It's just like, damn, there's really people behind the scenes that's controlling this stuff, or certain negotiations or deals, or it's like they just found a way to overcomplicate this stuff for control and for power and just for greed. It's like they don't want us to reach that certain level that we was at back then with this stuff. Like that's just how I feel as well. Cause I just look back at the music like, damn, the frequency was so good. This puts me in a trance. It just feels so freeing. And I'm thinking to myself, why would these higher up people want us to feel that type of euphoria, that euphoric feeling, that nostalgic feeling? It feels like they did it on purpose. Like they don't want you to reach those feelings anymore. Like that certain frequency that everything was at. Feels like it's all done by design, so you don't reach that level. Because with me, honestly, all right. So look at it like this, right? You know how back in the day, how you were,
Mm-hmm.
like back in the day, you were a certain way, right? Just think about this. The well, I'm gonna just put it like I'm gonna use myself for an example. This is how I think, how I look at it. Me myself from back then, I wasn't even on nowhere near of the level that I am now, like mentally, physically, all the knowledge that I know, my awareness level. And I'm thinking to myself, imagine if I had those same tools into play now, like that same music, that same frequency, how stuff was back then. Like I could utilize it. Like I would be on top of the moon. Cause now I'm on a whole nother level now.
Mm-hmm.
Back then I wasn't even half like the version that I am now. So it's like I just think they want to just I don't think they want to let people reach that level, like that certain frequency. It'll just be too much.
Like cloud 9, like you're up in the clouds. Like they make a joke out of that word, like, oh, you on cloud 9, but you could really be on cloud, like the feeling of it, like elevated. Like now, back then, I had glimpses of it, but it was normal. Like there was no, basically, there wasn't no how can I say it? There was like really nothing in a way to stop that. You just had glimpses. It was like experimental. But now it feels like not even that anymore. Like you were just experimenting. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I wish I had that my mindset now, like compared to back then, because I'd have been on a whole level. Because if you feel that free state and just being, you're able to do anything because you feel so free. It motivates you. They don't want people to feel free because they're gonna realize that I don't gotta live this way. I don't gotta be miserable. I can just be me. And the energy of just the entirety of just, you know, this place, this reality just changes within people. Is like they don't want that to happen, to come upon, you know, when you feel it. Like yeah, I could get mad at me. The thing is, I listened to a lot of songs back then too, but the thing is, I didn't
Hmm.
really have like a phone or anything to really listen to it, so I missed out on a lot. Like I'll listen to some, but then
Same with me.
I'll forget about that. because I'll go back in the past. I'm like, I know my artist dropped this song. I'm like, damn, I listened to this part, but I listened to I know there was a full version of that album or a snippet. Like, I ain't know that. I just listened to the music, and I ain't know that. But then I realized, like, the music back then, it had a lot of undertones. Like, if I listened to the music back then, now, like, I probably wouldn't even be, like, the same person. Like, it's just because a lot of us didn't even have, like, devices, and, like, it was just crazy. Like, we wasn't even, like, fully just developed or there. Like, imagine, because the music now, it just had, like, a lot of undertones and stuff. Like, and I didn't even pick up on it because I didn't have a phone. I did see some, but it was
That's
like
why I
not
said I don't fault myself for that. Like, I don't fault myself on saying, like, how people be like, oh, you just didn't appreciate. It's like, no, I don't fault myself on it because how things were. I didn't really have devices either. I had to hear things from just third parties for the most part. Like, if another person was playing it, if this person was talking about it, I couldn't even really fully experience it. And then the times when I did, I fully immersed myself within it. And I was at a time where I wasn't even at this level, so I can just only imagine. Like I know they doing this on. I know this is by design. Like, it's the same thing they do with these artists. Like, they want to keep you at a certain level. They don't want you to reach cloud nine. Same thing with just the general public. Like, you think these people want you to reach cloud nine and the frequency and be on the moon? They want to keep you at a certain spot. They want to keep you down. It's like ever since the frequency has risen, you started to notice this stuff, like an imbalance. Like, since everything is going up, we got to make a concentrated effort to take things down. That's just how it feels. I could utilize that energy right now. Like, the person I am now, back then I was nowhere near this level mentally. So I can just imagine if the frequency was the same how it used to be, the music, how vibrant it was. Like, I could just utilize that. Now it's like you gotta just
push the
you gotta
cart.
just yeah, it's like you gotta scour for just resources.